Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to do the concept of cross elasticity of demand. Now remember I told you that quantity demanded of any commodity depends upon its own price, the money income of the person. It may depend upon the prices of other commodities, weather, fashion, etc., etc. Now this part was covered when we discussed price elasticity of demand. When we discussed income, that was related to income elasticity of demand. Now we come to this concept, that is prices of other related goods. Now sometimes first I should tell you what are other goods, what types of these other goods can be. There are two types of goods. Ones are called substitutes and others are called complements. Okay, what are substitutes? Okay, now if one commodity can be replaced by some other commodity and similar work can be taken out from both of them, they are called substitutes of each other. Like a ballpoint and a pencil, they can be substitutes for each other as far as writing is concerned. Blue marker or black marker, they can be substitutes for each other. I'm sorry, I stained my hand here. Anyways, what are complements? Complements are things that are jointly demanded. What do you mean by jointly demanded? If you buy one, you need to buy the second one also. Examples include bat and ball, and marker and a board. Okay, board, marker and whiteboard, they can be complements to each other. And what were substitutes? Which can be used in place of each other, like wheat and rice. Okay, now sometimes it happens that the price of wheat changes and it might affect the quantity demanded of rice. It may happen that price of ball changes and it affects the quantity demanded of bat. Now when we want to measure this responsiveness, when the price is being changed of one commodity and the effect is upon the second commodity, we make use of this concept, cross elasticity of demand, and its formula is given by cross elasticity, CE, cross elasticity between A and B. Let's say A and B are any two commodities, so it's given by this formula: percentage change in quantity demanded of commodity A divided by percentage change in price of B. Okay, this is the formula for cross elasticity of demand. We can extend this formula as we have done for others. This can be extended as change in quantity demanded of A divided by quantity demanded of A whole divided by or let me multiply it here, multiply by 100 since it's percentage, divided by change in price of B divided by price of B into 100. Let me check if my paper is in the frame or not. Okay, I think it's clear now. Now this can be further extended as change in quantity demanded of A divided by quantity of B multiply by PB divided by change in price of B. Okay, further making it simple, I can take these two variables on one side and I can write cross elasticity between A and B is equal to change in quantity demanded of commodity A minus quantity demanded of commodity A, first quantity demanded, or let me move change in price over here, change in price of B. So all the delta commodities are on one side and the single variables I'll take to other side. Okay, that is price of B and quantity demanded of A. Now change in quantity demanded, it is simply quantity demanded, second quantity demanded minus the first quantity demanded. If you want, you can add the subscript A here. Okay, what is change in price? Second price minus the first price of commodity B. So you can add the subscript B here. Now what is this price? This is price, first price of commodity B, and this is first quantity of commodity A. So this is the extended version or extended formula of cross elasticity between two commodities. Now let's calculate these cross elasticities. First we will solve an example for substitutes and then one example for complements. Okay, let me check my paper again. It often happens I keep on writing and the paper is out of the frame. Okay, so let's first do the case of substitutes. Cross elasticity, and it's the case of substitutes. Now let's say I'm taking two substitutes, wheat and rice. So I am looking at price of wheat, so this is PB, where B is wheat, and quantity demanded of a commodity, which is rice. Let's say price of wheat in the market is rupees 600 per kg, God forbid, but it's 600 per kg, let's say, and it rises to rupees 900. Now when it was 600 per kg, there were 1000 kilogram, or months as you say, they were demanded in the market. But when the price rose by another 300 rupees and became 900 rupees, affording wheat was it became difficult. So people started using rice more. Okay, so obviously at a higher price of wheat, people will be demanding more rice. Let's say they started demanding 1200 months of rice. Now we can see what is happening there. Price of wheat has risen and it has caused a change in demand for rice. Since I have considered these two as substitutes, a rise in price in one has caused a rise in demand for others, so their relationship is direct. Okay, in case of substitutes. Now let's put these values in the formula. I'll put them here so that you can see it clearly. Cross elasticity between A and B, it was equal to Q2A minus Q1A divided by P2B minus P1B into P1B divided by Q1A. Now obviously this is my PB1, this is my PB2. You can make it simply by removing B here, okay, or you can just simply write P1 and P2. So price of wheat. Just make things simple for yourself, but I'll write it anyways. Quantity demanded, first quantity demanded of A and second quantity that was demanded of commodity A. Okay, so I have Q1 and Q2. Now putting in these values, what do I get? Q2 minus Q1, this is going to be 1200 minus 1200 divided by 900 minus 600 is 300, multiply by price P1B is 600 and Q1A is 1000. Okay, so let's start simplifying this. 5 2s are 10, 3 2s are 6, 1s are 3. So I have 2 by 5. Now if I divide 2 over 5, I get 0.4, which is less than 1. Okay, and of course I am getting the sign positive. Now sometimes in exams you are given numerical questions in which you are not given whether it is wheat or rice. They simply may write x or y or z, a or b, and they may ask you to calculate cross elasticity, and they may ask you to interpret your answer. So how are you going to interpret your answer? First of all, if your answer comes less than 1, you should know that the degree of elasticity is less. It is less cross elastic. In other words, the increase in price of wheat has affected the demand of rice, but not that much, okay, since it is less than 1. Secondly, the sign, if your numerical, if it is positive, you can interpret it as the positive sign shows that the two commodities given in the question are substitutes. Okay, this is how you interpret your answer. Now let's discuss the case for complements. Let me change my paper. Let's say we are calculating cross elasticity between A, B, where A and B are two complements. Oh my god. Now can you see it? Okay. Okay, now let's say we have a price of B, and I say B commodity is my petrol, and I want to see the effect of change in price on petrol upon number of cars demanded in a market. So quantity demanded of cars, okay, quantity demanded of cars, and I can say A here, and cars is of course commodity A. Okay, now let's say the price of petrol was rupees 60 per liter, then it rose to rupees 100. Okay, now what happens, let's say at rupees 60 per liter in a market there were 1000 cars being demanded. Okay, but when the price of petrol increased, people started demanding lesser number of cars. So let's say the demand fell to 900. Now if we put these values in the formula, what do I get? I'm just going to rewrite it for you so that you remember it. Quantity demanded second minus quantity demanded first, P2 minus P1 into P1 divided by Q1. Of course I'm not writing B here and A here, it's always understood, so you can add these subscripts yourself. Now putting in these values, what do I get? 900 minus 1000, I get 100. P2 minus P1, I get 100 minus 60, that is 40, into P1 which is 60 divided by Q1 which is 1000. Okay, and I do my bit of calculations. 3 2s are 6 and 2 2s are 4. I get 3, then 2 times 10 is 20. I hope I did it right. Yeah, 3 divided by 2, and my answer is going to be, I'll write my answer here, my answer is going to be 0.1, okay, which is less than 1. And what is my sign? I am getting a negative sign here. So it is of course this particular example, the values shows that it is less cross elastic. The demand for number of cars demanded is less elastic or less responsive towards changes in price, since our value is less than 1, and also it is negative, which shows that whatever commodities are mentioned here without being mentioned whether it's car or petrol or bat or ball, negative sign shows that it is the case of complements. Okay, I hope I've made myself clear. I can give you this simple diagram that if the value of cross elasticity comes 0, it may happen sometimes you get a question and your answer is 0 and you are asked to interpret it. You may say that these two commodities are totally unrelated to each other, they are neither substitutes, neither they are complements. And if your value is towards positive side, then it is for, it means that it is the case of substitutes. This means the higher value you get towards the positive sides, closer the substitutes are, those commodities for each other. And if your answer is negative, that is the case for complements. Okay. And with this we come to the end of this. Inshallah, in next lesson I'll tell you about measurement of price elasticity of demand. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.